It's going to be recording here in a second. All right, we are live here on the Principals Podcast. Today is the day after St. Patrick's Day, so I hope that you all had your corned beef and cabbage. We have special guests today, Brittany Adams, along with our co-hosts, Doug Hyam and Ryan Bandera.
Good evening.
Co-hosts, how you guys doing?
I'm doing well. How was everyone else?
Doing well, thanks.
We are here, and we don't get to see Brittany that often. We used to, but Brittany is she's growing up, and she's going to Lakeland for most of her time. But we had an opportunity to talk to her this week in advance of this podcast about something great that she's involved in. So before we begin talking about that project, why don't you fill in everybody what life is like for you in a typical day between Lakeland and work?
So I do most of my schoolwork on Monday through Wednesday. So my only in-person class is really Monday, and that's anatomy and physiology for nursing. So that's kind of my schedule. And then I work Thursday through Saturday just so that I can earn a little money on the side. So.
Brittany, if there's someone who is considering Lakeland for their maybe junior or senior year, what advice would you have for them, or Kent Geauga or any CCP program? Any advice that you would have for them?
Honestly, I wouldn't even I know I thought about it at first. I was kind of like, I don't want to miss out on my senior year at Chardon. Like, what if I don't get involved in a lot of things or I'm not able to do as much? And honestly, it's amazing at Lakeland. You have a lot more freedom. So if you're kind of a self-driven kid, I would recommend it 100%. You would thrive there. So.
Cool.
What's your favorite class that you have right now?
Right now I love anatomy and physiology. So my professor, I think he has 4 or 5 PhDs, and he's amazing. He just makes the class so much fun.
That's great. And you were telling me the other day, and I know the location, and I know Mr. Bandera used to drive by it all the time. Tell us a little bit about where you work.
I work at Centera Co-op. It's like right by Junction Auto, right outside of Chardon. So it's just kind of a feed store. I've shown in 4-H for about 12 years, and I do a lot of animals. So I do get some discounts on my feed by working there, which is kind of a perk.
You talk about working with animals. Do you have a favorite animal?
Honestly, I think rabbits. I've done them for 12 years in 4-H, but I've also done pigs, dairy cows. Right now I'm doing turkeys. So I've been all over the place.
See, this is a perfect segue, talking about work, talking about your animals. So let's talk about 4-H. Let's not get into the drive yet per se, but let's talk about your experience with 4-H, because Chardon, we have a lot of kids involved in 4-H. And I feel like we don't highlight it enough because it's outside of the building. Could you tell us a little bit about isn't it Greener Fields 4-H?
Yeah, that's my main 4-H club, but I'm also involved in a couple other 4-H clubs, such as Junior Fair Board. We actually help run the shows at the fairgrounds. So if you see me, I can be in 50 million different places all around the fairgrounds because I'm trying to run from one show to the next, helping out with those. And then I'm also in a club called Junior Leaders. We run the milkshake booth at the fairgrounds, and we try to do a lot of service projects throughout the year.
What's your favorite milkshake?
Oh my gosh, that's a hard one. Okay, I love Mint Day because I can do a mint chocolate chip mix. I think that's it kind of tastes like a Thin Mint, not gonna lie. It's really good.
Are yours better than the Shamrock shakes at McDonald's?
This, for sure, 100%. So good.
When they're
cheaper too, right?
Oh my gosh, yeah. I think this past year, they were $3 or $4, but a lot of people, they do say that that's a little expensive, but a lot of people also don't know that any of the money we make at the milkshake booth helps to fund it the following year and also helps us to pay for service projects to help in Geauga County. So it really goes back to a good cause, and it goes back to the community.
Entrepreneurship. When you go to the fair and they have the dairy cow outside of the milkshake area and they have all the tubes, and I'm like, holy milk. It is amazing to see that whole process. And I know that's for kind of the show of showing how this is done. And obviously a bit's pasteurized, but it's amazing. Those dairy cows are fascinating animals. I'm allergic to a lot of the animals there at the fair. I feel like going through, I just, it's like hay fever season. Not so much, I guess I am allergic to hay. Maybe that's right. Maybe I'm not allergic to the animals. Maybe I'm allergic to the hay in the barns. But is there anyone that you're connected with that is in Chardon High School that is involved in 4-H that you see? I know like Paige Lusick does a lot there. We have the O'Reillys that do a lot there. Like, is there anyone in particular you connected with?
I work with Rachel O'Reilly. I'm not sure if she goes directly to Chardon. I think she goes to NDCL, but she does a lot with Junior Fair Board and with junior leaders as well. So we try to be involved.
So since we haven't had like a full fair experience, but you're still doing all that great work, tell us about this food drive that the Greener Fields 4-H Club is putting together and how all of us can participate in this. Kind of give us the background and who's involved and what we can do.
All right, so our food drive was started about, I think, 4 to 5 years ago by one of the older members in our 4-H club, and he really he wanted to help people in Geauga County. So, and we've tried to keep it going after he aged out because we thought it was a great cause. So we try to collect as many food donations from March 1st to August 15th. And any donations that we do collect, Dr. Augie Kellis is willing to double them. So for every can that we get donated or every good we get donated, he will give us 50 cents. And for every dollar donated, he will double it. So our goal this year is to raise $20,000 because that's his maximum like donation budget. But if we can go over that, that would be amazing.
So each of us in our offices, because it is literally a 4-page flyer that we're processing, and not everyone can see this because we aren't going to overlay the words. What can be donated?
So you can donate like canned meats, canned boxes, like pasta. Honestly, the people at the food drive, they love pasta. Canned fruits and vegetables. I know they don't get a ton of those, so it would be great if we could get those in. Cereal, powdered baby formulas, baby food, diapers, pet products, paper products. A lot of people don't think about those things, but even though these people are in a struggling time, they might have a pet or a kid that they need to supply for as well, not just themselves. And then any kind of personal care items. I know that over the past couple months, they have been low on like shampoo, conditioner, different things like that. So if you can get those in, that would be amazing. And then condiments, of course. So, and then I don't think we're doing money donations at the high school, but at some locations we are going to have like a little money box that you can donate if you'd like to.
Brittany, if I don't make it to the store, is there another way I could donate this year?
Yeah, so we're actually going to have a drop-off box at every single one of the, I think, Geauga public libraries. So there's going to be one in Chardon. There already is one at Chardon. And if you miss out on donating then, you can go to the library and donate there. And I'm pretty sure we also have an Amazon account set up. So if you guys want, you can go on Amazon and buy a couple things, and it will get shipped directly to our advisor's house, who will count those donations and deliver them directly to the food bank for you.
Can you tell us a little bit about, Brittany, the pop-up locations, where and when?
So as far as the like pop-up locations, I know that we do try to do like a little kind of boost in like in donations by I think it's in Middlefield. It's like the Middlefield Bank. So we're trying to coordinate that right now to try and have that up there. But again, the pop-up locations are going to be at the Burton Library, Chardon Library, the Middlefield Library, West Geauga Library, and the Thompson Library.
We are big about talking about what's your why, what's in your core. The pandemic has caused so many different situations to occur. And when we talk about essential needs, talk to us a little bit about some of the needs that you have been educated in regards to the allocation needs to the Geauga Hunger Task Force and really how many people are impacted by not having these items.
So I actually, through helping Greener Fields with the food drive this year, I learned that 1 in every 5 people in Geauga County don't have enough money to really pay for their food, especially during the pandemic. That number has went up a lot. And personally, I've never really had to struggle with not getting my next meal. So it hurt to know that there might be a couple people who even go to Chardon, or a couple people that go to schools around us that are struggling to get their next meal, or their only meal is at Chardon, that they only get to eat lunch. They don't get to go home and eat dinner with their family. So I think it's really important that we try and donate to help those people so that they can go home and eat food.
It's been shocking to see, on the news to different weeks, like the Cleveland Food Bank or things like that, when they're essentially filling up the municipal lot in downtown Cleveland of people, who are in need of food right now. So this is such a great donation. I am excited to donate and see how much our students can come through with donations as well.
So this actually started already because it's a March 1st through August 15th.
Yes, we have already started collecting donations from some of our 4-H clubs in Geauga County. So we sent out a giant blast email to everyone who has a 4-H club, and the advisors are letting the kids know, like, hey, they're collecting donations, and they're bringing donations to their meetings and then delivering them to my head advisor.
So it's going to be hard, and we talked about this on Tuesday, because we talk about boots on the ground. Your boots are not inside the ground here at the high school, but being able to articulate this, we have so many great resources and marketing ways of not only posting these flyers, but we're going to have a bin in our cafeteria that people can drop off these items. It's crazy how meticulous the summary forms are, because every item that we receive has to be with counted eyes to make sure it's confirmed, so that when Brittany takes these out of here, it matches what it is in here, just for the accuracy portion and for the ethical side of things. But what I was talking to her about is that we have such a great communications director that once she watches this podcast, she's going to be able to take all of this information, and we'll give her the electronic version of it, and it will be in the Week in Reflection for all those that need to be visible learners. And she's probably going to communicate it to each of the buildings, and she'll probably write up an article. She'll probably contact you. This will most likely be something that she will add as an addition to the not only our own letters, but she writes kind of small editorials and or I guess just articles to the News Herald. And before you know it, it's going to be really out there, which is great. You said to me on Tuesday that Kenston is another school that is also going to be competing against us.
Yes.
Because you just naturally want to.
Yeah, so we're going to try and get Kenston involved with the food drive. I think we have a couple kids from our 4-H club who go to Kenston, so they're going to try and persuade the principal there to get involved with it. And I mean, maybe we can make a friendly competition out of it, see which school can collect the most donations. I mean, we already beat them in football, so maybe we can beat them in the food drive too. So
we were also talking about possibility for any of these events that we host leading up into graduation, that this could be a great opportunity for the community if they were unable to make it to any of those areas that could be on their way to graduation, could be dropping off canned goods as a part of our way of giving back, which really deeply connects to our core values and connecting back to community, and also the aspect of dignity and understanding that every one of us are going through different things, and for us to seek to understand that and then realize if we're able to help out those in need, and that it's going to support people in our county. So we're thrilled that you've presented this, and we'll do everything we can to help support you in that. And this is just a very, very, very organized plan. So who is all in your Greener Fields 4-H that put this all together? Are they students your age, or there's some students younger than you?
So I think for the past couple years, to try and keep it together, we've had a couple advisors who have been leading the food drive, and then every year we get a couple kids who want to jump in and help. So this year, one of our big helpers is Jamie O'Neill, and then me, and then there's also Melise Chalmers. There's a couple other kids from my school or from other schools in the county who are really just working to try and make this as successful as it can possibly be.
this whole the connection with the Amazon part, that's just brilliant. Where someone can just be able to scan that code, and then what they purchase can go directly to this cause. That's absolutely brilliant. Well, we're going to do everything we can to help support you in this, because as you know, in Chardon, this is what we do best is our outreach to others, knowing that it's going to be literally reaching out to our own neighbors. We always end our podcast with gratitude, and people that in this time of March, we have a week here at the high school left before it's the end of the quarter. We just started spring sports. The weather has been beautiful up until today's nurturing rain. Anyone you want to give shout outs to or gratitude, Brittany?
First, my two advisors who are helping with the food drive, Mrs. O'Neill and Miss Bellevue. They are amazing, and they are working their hardest to try and make this as successful as possible. And also to Paul Harris for making sure that we get a full fair this year.
Now, that's awesome. On that note, do you have any shows that are coming up? I know there's shows all around, but do you have any shows that you are working towards?
I'm not going to any individual shows this year. I know with rabbits, it's been really hard to have shows just because we are such a large community. So if we do have a show, there's going to be maybe hundreds or thousands of people there, and it's very difficult to find a building that can accommodate that many people and also socially distance in the middle of a show. So I personally don't have any shows, but I know right now Beef Expo is going on in Columbus, Ohio. So a lot of my people who are showing cows are up there doing that. So
that sounds up your alley there, Chaim. Beef.
Oh boy. Yeah.
I'm not calling you sturdy. I'm just saying both you and Bandera love to cook and smoke meat and come up with creative meals. And I know that that doesn't sound great when we're talking about the animals.
Right. Let's keep it,
I don't know if I can do the butchering.
Right, exactly. I can't do the touching of all that when it's still alive. No.
Mr. Chaim Bandera, who you want to give shout outs to this week?
I'm going to start here. I'm going to give a shout out. Something I just found out about today, actually, but I'm very excited for. On March 21st, which is actually this Sunday, it's actually World Down Syndrome Day, which I just found out that World Down Syndrome Day is marked on the 21st day of the third month, because it talks about what happens to be Down syndrome is caused by the 21st, the triplication of the 21st chromosome. So it's interesting a little bit there. So anyways, World Down Syndrome Day is celebrated on March 21st. But one of our students this year, Trevor Waskovich, in Mrs. Bunker's class, alerted us that it is World Down Syndrome Day this week. And to celebrate it, he is putting out this flyer that says that we are going to celebrate by wearing mismatched socks tomorrow. So on Friday, everyone's going to wear their mismatched socks to kind of celebrate or commemorate World Down Syndrome Day. So thanks, Trevor, for letting us know about that today.
That was
That's
awesome.
exciting. Now, I look like I normally do with wearing the wrong socks. So I got at least, that going for me. I like to give out a shout out to all of our students that are involved with the band. Tonight is going to be an exciting night for them. We have the 8th grade, the symphonic, and the wind ensemble performing right here in our glorious high school gym. Yes, Gymtorium, whatever, all that we make of it. So it's exciting, starting tonight at 6:00. So all the great work that they have done this school year gets to be showcased tonight. So I'm excited about the band concert tonight.
A few years ago, they performed at Severance Hall. So I think I'll be, just the same sound here at the gym at Chardon High School.
Absolutely.
Sure. It's the barn. We probably could show animals in our place. It is barn.
Yes.
I want to give kind of a quick little dual shout out to anyone, and I'm not going to give it specific, anyone involved with the wellness day that happened last week. It was extraordinary. They did an amazing job. And I know she will not want any of the accolades, but Joan Blackburn, who put it on, social worker, but it was really a lot of the student driven, and we had so many agencies. That was awesome. I also want to give a shout out to all of our maintenance staff that's been trying to work on all of our external fields to make them ready for spring. They completely had to completely renovate the JV baseball field and put in like clay bricks and get it leveled and get it replayable. And they were blessed with good weather to do that. So those are my shout outs. It is again March 18th. Tomorrow it is Friday. Brittany, thank you for joining us today. We want to see your face around here, and I'm hoping that because of this project, we will see you around. But keep up all the great work. You're doing extraordinary things, not only at school at Lakeland, but also with all of your service. And that just emulates who you are. So we thank you for joining us today.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you, Brittany. It was fun to see you.
Bye.
Good luck with the food drive.
Thank
Top
you.
her up, everyone.
Peace.
Fun.